You guys ever do anything silly? Every now and again I'll do something really silly, and then after this happened it made me realize, hey, we need some rod holders in the front of our tracker. And then I also, while we're building them, we might as well build some for the back, that way we can put 4 catfish rods and reels out. So let's get to the video. Recently the wife and I was out at Lake of the Pines fishing. Oh my goodness, and here's what happened. I'm out there fishing, it's hot, the sun's coming down on us, and I thought, you know what, I could stand right there in front of that bimini top that we got put up that the wife and Buster are under, and I could cool off a minute. And right when I got there, boom, I hear a splash, I turn around, and my rod and reel are gone. Got the best friend ever. What was that? Guys, that led me to this belief. Number one, I didn't think it would happen. Number two, we could build something using some cheap pieces off of Amazon. So that's what we're going to show you today. We're going to show you how we've got our boat set up. We built a 4-rod rack in the back of the boat, and then I've also got 2 up front using the VersaTrack and just a little bit of angle iron. This isn't going to be a true how-to. This is just going to give you some ideas on how you could do it to your boat if you decide you want to do it. I know a lot of you guys already out there are handymen and you're doing your own stuff. I'll tell you right now, straight up. So to get this process started, if you guys have watched the bimini top video, I didn't want to drill into my tracker. I wanted to use the VersaTrack. So we used 2x2 angle that came in 12-inch pieces, and then we put the quick connect for the bimini top, and then we drilled a hole in the side of it so that you could mount this to the, using the VersaTrack that's already installed, especially if you got a tracker boat. We wanted to do the same idea with that, so what we did is we got some of these 12-inch pieces. I cut this with a hacksaw, and then I used a hand file and then a little bit of sandpaper. If you guys got an electric sanding machine, kind of like the belt sander or whatever, that will make this a lot quicker, because you can actually use like an 80 grit on this and it'll go much faster than trying to do it all by hand. After we got all the pieces cut, we just used stainless steel bolts, just regular stainless steel, the same that you would use for your VersaTrack, the 1/4 inch by 1 inch with a lock nut on it. So we bolted everything together, then spray painted it. You guys probably already know we've got the HydroTurf installed in the floor of our boat. We used some of the HydroTurf after we spray painted this black using that Rust-Oleum, and it has a big number 2 on the side of it. I'll show you a picture of that here in a second, but it's a paint and primer. We did the paint and primer on the aluminum, it's all black. And then on the actual rod holders, we got a package of 6 off of Amazon. So we got 4 of them mounted in the back. I mounted that to the back of that lid in the back, and that's your access lid to get to your bilge pump, your battery, that kind of stuff. And my thought was, well, I could see either me or my wife trying to grab a hold of that, say we started to fall. Well, with that lid being able to come up, I thought, that could be a problem. So what we decided to do is I grabbed another piece of this, and this again, it's 1/4 inch aluminum, just like the angle iron that we used, and it came in a 12-inch piece as well. It's also 2 inches thick, so it's exactly the same size as the angle iron. And I just bolted one of these to the foot on the rear mount that's bolted to the lid, and it extends out past. I drilled a single hole in it and mounted it to the back of the boat. That way it won't come up accidentally while you're fishing or whatever. I did tighten that down with a wing nut. That way you still got pretty quick access to your battery or anything like that. I do have a quick connect on my battery, so that all I got to do is plug it into the charger. I don't even need to open the lid to get to that. And I don't really have any fishing gear in there that I would be wanting to get to. Now, the way this ended up working out, and I thought it was a perfect way to hold the bimini top up off of the fuel fill on the, if you guys got a tracker like ours, that big kind of mount for the gas fill is all plastic. I didn't want the bimini top resting on that. When we initially put the bimini top on, I used that crate, which we've got our jug lines in. That's a crate that I made for my kayak 10, 15 years ago or whatever. But that crate will actually slide up underneath the new, that's where I store my jugs. Number one, I can get my jugs out real quick and easy because the bimini top's not resting on it. And then the secondary part of that is this rod rack that we built on the back. The bimini top rests on that perfectly, just like I made it to fit. I was more interested in having good rod holders so I didn't lose another rod, but it just worked out perfectly. So now it holds the bimini top whether you're in transit, and I use rock straps to tie that thing down. If you guys are not familiar with rock straps, it's basically a bungee cord and a strap all made into one. That way you can hold tension on it. They've got different sizes. I've done a lot of videos in the past, especially on my other channel, about the rock straps. If you guys want to learn more about that, I'll post a video on this channel as well. But just trying to keep this video short and give you guys some ideas of how you could potentially make this for less than 200 bucks. It gives you roughly 6 rod holders, 2 in the front that are mounted to the VersaTrack, and then like I say, we've got a 48-inch bar on the back, and that is what we put the 4 other rod holders on. That way we could have 2 out on both sides of the motor to do some catfishing. Again, these are cheap Amazon rod holders. I don't have the money to buy those $50 ones. If we end up breaking some of these cheaper Amazon rod holders, I'll update you guys as that happens, but so far they look like they're going to hold up. I don't know that we'll ever catch a 50-pound catfish, guys. That's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid, and I've never caught one over 15 pounds. Here nor there, the whole idea on this was to not lose another rod and reel. The rod and reel that I lost cost more than this does to even get it done, and I figured in my mind I'll buy another cheap rod and reel, because obviously I don't deserve a good one if I can't take any better care than that by losing the last one. And then what it would have cost me to replace that, I built this rod holder in the back and the 2 that are removable, because they're on smaller pieces of angle iron that mount to the VersaTrack. That way I can take them off real easy and move them maybe even to the kayak or something if I needed to do that for whatever reason down the road. Again, guys, this isn't a full how-to. It's just to give you guys some ideas. I do have 95% of all this video detailed how I did it. In the corners, I cut all of them at about a 45. That way we're not going to be cutting ourselves or anything like that, especially if I fall out of the boat. You guys know we've got a ladder mounted to the back. Out of the lake, back into the boat, if you have to use that ladder, you've got that other handle now that you can grab a hold of, which is your rod rack that I built. And then also cutting the corners off should eliminate me cutting my leg or anything else as I'm getting out of there before a gator gets me. Guys, if you like this video at all, or if you found any information that maybe gave you some ideas on things you could do to make your tracker build out a little more affordable, give us a big thumbs up. We appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. All of you have a blessed week. Oh, and you know what? If you guys like doing how-to stuff, or you like the Grizzly Tracker, check out our playlist. We've got several videos up there, and we're going to keep doing more as we continue to add more to this boat. Again, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you. May you have a blessed week. And let's get outside and make something happen.